Get ready for rustic, Scandinavian-inspired Christmas decor with a minimalistic vibe. All of these are so affordable and you can put them together in just a few minutes. And as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hi guys, it's Aneka and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So today I have some Christmas DIYs for you. As most of you guys will know, I recently moved, so that means I've been making a lot of trips to IKEA. I was really inspired by kind of the Scandinavian vibes, the minimalistic feeling of a lot of their stuff, and to be honest, I was inspired by the great prices on a lot of their items. So some of these DIYs were made with IKEA items, some of them with Dollar Tree, some even from Walmart. All of them are beautiful and fit right into that Christmas on a budget. So I really hope you enjoy them. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. Everyone, if you have not already, hit that notification bell so you'll know when my next video comes out. And when it's over, head down to the comments and let me know which DIY was your favorite. Or of course, you can always just say hi, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you want. I'd love to hear from you. Also, don't forget to find me on all my social media platforms. Let me know what you're up to. Tag me in some of the things that you're crafting, your Christmas preparations, your Christmas festivities. I would love to see it. Okay, guys, it's time to craft. So my first DIY is one of my favorites. I'm going to use one of these embroidery hoops, and I just got these from Walmart. They were about $2.50 a piece for a variety of different sizes. Now this one I believe was about 10 inches, but they go all the way from 4 inches up to probably 12 or 14 inches, and it's really affordable to get them at Walmart, or check your local thrift stores because they will often have them there for just a few cents. So I'm going to take some twine and just adding a dab of glue at different spots around my embroidery hoop. I'm going to go ahead and just wrap it around in a lot of different directions to make sort of a spider web effect of sorts with some really cool designs with twine, which is one of my favorite things to craft with. Once I've got that as covered as I want it, I'm going to grab one of these ornaments that I got from Walmart. Now Walmart has some beautiful ornaments, and they're only probably about 50 cents to $1 more than what you would get at Dollar Tree, but I think they are well worth it. They're very sturdy, very beautiful, and they just have so many to choose from. So if you haven't already, make sure you go check out Walmart for their affordable Christmas decor. So I'm going to take my ornament, cut off the twine that was already on it to hang it, and I'm going to add just a very simple piece of ribbon to hang it from my inner embroidery hoop. Now I decided to glue this on the back as well as the front side of the embroidery hoop, and this was just to make sure that if I moved it around too much, my ornament wouldn't just dangle and flop all over the place. So I added a few dabs of glue on the back of the ornament, the top of the embroidery hoop, and then again on the back of the ornament to make sure that it was nice and stable. Now once this was done, I really liked the look of it, so I went ahead and put the outer embroidery hoop back on, but you can add some greenery to this. I did have a few picks that I also got from Walmart, which I'm also loving this year. They have some beautiful Christmas picks at Walmart, and I feel like the greenery looks a little more realistic than what you would get at Dollar Tree, and it's definitely larger in size as well. So if you want to, you can add just a little greenery around the bottom. You can add some lamb's ear around the side, but I loved it just like this. Next up, another quick DIY using these clear ornaments from the Dollar Tree. Now I also picked up some mini pine cones as well as some of those picks that I mentioned before, which I got from Walmart. So I'm going to start out by putting these mini pine cones into my clear ornaments, and I'm just going to load it up with as many as I feel that it needs. I liked to leave mine about halfway full, but really you could fill it up all the way and just give that nice rustic feel of a walk in a wintry wood inside of your ornament. Now I'm going to take one of my picks that I got from Walmart and just use my wire cutters to disassemble it, and I'm going to place the different pieces inside of my ornaments as well. So I'm going to place some of the greenery in one. In one of them, I chose to put the berries and some of the twigs. I just kind of played around with it until I thought it looked nice. Now, what I love about this is how minimal it looks and how little it takes to really make a big statement. You can leave these around your house as fillers in baskets, on trays, under the tree, or you could put them on your tree, and they really give that rustic, minimal feel to your Christmas decor. I absolutely love how simple this is and how beautiful it comes out. I especially love how they look on this farmhouse tray that I made, and it's different DIY using Walmart Decor. I'll be sure to link to that in the description box below. So here's another one that I guess you could call more of a hack than a DIY because it is so easy to put together but so beautiful. I used these containers that I got from IKEA. They were only about $2 and change a piece, and the small ones were about $2 and change for a set of 3. I'm going to take some twine and just wrap it around the open mouth of my container, and then I'm going to add some greenery. Now it's Christmas time and I'm doing a rustic Christmas feel, so I'm going to use some Christmas greenery, but really guys, you could use any type of greenery you want to carry you all the way through the year with different types and looks of greenery, flowers, whatever you want on these bottles. I'm going to tie this off into a bow, and then just to add a little pop of color, I'm going to add some of the berries, once again from those picks that I got from Walmart. I'm really getting my money's worth out of these picks this year, you guys. But that's all it took to make this beautiful candle holder. I decided to put candles in mine. Of course, you could use LED candles. If you're using real ones, please be very careful that you don't cause a fire in your house. But I love the way this looks by my fireplace. It's so simple and it just gives me that warm Christmas feeling. And here's another quick and easy rustic DIY that you can make for Christmas decor. I'm going to use this small wreath form that I got from Dollar Tree. Of course, you can use any size that you like. The larger size you go with, the larger your final project will be. I'm going to use some wire cutters and just take apart all the rings. And these Dollar Tree wreath forms can fall apart pretty easily, so I'm just going to use a little dab of hot glue to hold it together if it comes apart in any one area. It's okay. I'm going to be wrapping twine around mine, so I just used a little hot glue and it stayed together just fine. I also think this DIY would look really nice if you just spray painted it in gold and had more of a simple look to it. Of course, I'm kind of obsessed with twine, so that's what I decided to go with. But if you want an even more minimal look, I would suggest just spray painting it. So I'm going to cover the entire thing in twine, wrapping around, and this did take the longest out of the entire project, but I thought it was well worth it. Once I have the first one covered, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other 2 rings. And once all 3 are covered, I have my 3 pieces of my snowman. Now there were some parts that were a little more pointy or where my twine was kind of had more glue on it, and I put those pieces together where my 3 rings were going to meet because I'm just going to use some twine to hold all 3 of these together, and that way I was able to cover up any imperfections in my loops. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue, and then I'm going to wrap that around my 2 rings so that it holds together. I'm going to do that for the bottom 2 rings, and then I'm going to do the same thing again to attach the 3rd ring on top. Next, I'm going to add one more loop of twine right on the top so that I can hang this guy wherever I want him to go in my house. Once that's done, I'm going to add even more picks and simple greenery just to jazz it up a little bit. I don't want to do too much because I want this to stay minimalist and rustic, but I did decide to grab a few of the picks. I removed the clip that was on the bottom and I'm just going to wrap that in twine so that it blends in a little better with my snowman. And then I'm just going to attach these onto the snowman in different parts very sparingly to make sure I maintain that minimalistic vibe. I added just a touch of greenery to all 3 rings and that was it. I absolutely love how this came out. It's so simple but so beautiful. My 5th DIY is just as simple, just as easy, and will only take you a few minutes to do. I got this pack of trees from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to remove the bottom and use these red beads that I have on hand. Of course, you can use anything that you have. They do sell beads at the Dollar Tree, or you could use a little ornament depending on what size you want yours to be. Just kind of look around your craft room and use your imagination. I'm going to glue those right on the bottom, and then I'm going to grab another one of these embroidery hoops. This one is 6 inches. Of course, if you're using larger trees, you'll want to use a larger hoop. I'm going to glue my trees right on the inside of my hoop, and I'm going to do 2. Of course, if you're using a larger hoop, you could do even more, and it would still look beautiful, rustic, and simple. And that is it. I did have to hold it in place for quite a while to make sure that the glue was nice and set, but once it was done, I had this beautiful, simple, rustic little ornament that looks perfect with all the rest of my minimalistic Christmas decor. Okay, so if I had to choose a favorite, I might go with that snowman. I love that. I thought it was really easy, but also, you know, I did light the candles in those little jars, and that was so simple and made such a beautiful statement. I think I like that one too, but honestly, I can't choose this time, you guys. Head down to the comments and let me know which one was your favorite. Now for the treat today, since I was doing kind of like a Scandi Christmas type of a thing, I thought I would do a throwback to one of my favorite DIYs that I did when I was mostly doing lunch boxes for my daughter. She asks for this treat all the time. It was so fun to make. It was so fun to see her little face light up. So I thought it would be fun to show you guys as the DIY treat for today. So it's time to eat. In honor of our Scandinavian-inspired Christmas decor, I'm going to be making a sweet treat with a little friend from Norway. I'm just going to use some cookie icing because it's what I had on hand, and I'm going to add some blue food coloring to that. Of course, if you have blue candy melts, you could use that as well, and it would make it a little sturdier if you do plan to transport these to a party or anything like that. Next, I'm going to grab some graham crackers and I'm just going to spread the icing all over it. Now, I was making this for my daughter, so I did make sure to leave a little margin around the edge where she could put her fingers, so I did not end up with blue icing all over the place. But if you're making this for a party, you could take that all the way out to the edge and get some good coverage. Next, I'm going to take some jumbo marshmallows, and I did decide to make 3 of these because I have 3 little girls and I can't leave anyone out. So I grabbed 3 marshmallows. So I'm going to cut them in half. And when you do this, make sure you have some warm water close by that you could use to wipe off your scissors, because this does definitely get pretty sticky. So it's definitely something you want to take your time with. Wipe off your scissors when they get too sticky, and just take your time with it. So on one of my half marshmallows, I'm going to cut off all 4 corners to make a sort of diamond, and this is going to make the head for my little snowman friend. While I'm cutting, I'm also going to take some medium-sized marshmallows and I'm going to cut those in half as well. And then I'm ready to start assembling my snowman. So I'm going to take the larger jumbo marshmallow, the one that I did not cut the sides off of, and place that near the bottom. And then I'm going to use mini marshmallows and I'm going to place 2 on the bottom as feet. Next, I'm going to use some black licorice that I had on hand. I only need a very little bit for this, and I'm going to cut it into very thin strips. I think I cut each one into about eighths, maybe even smaller, but these are going to be the arms of my snowman and the little hair on top of his head. In order to easily get the pieces in, I just used a cake tester. Of course, you could also use a toothpick if that's what you have on hand to poke a little hole into the marshmallow, and that's where I placed the arm for my snowman. And I did the same thing at one tip of the diamond to make the hair. I did place a few in there just to make it look like he had a few hairs sticking out on top. Next, I'm going to take a bag of these candied fruit slices and I'm going to use the orange one to cut into small pieces to make a nose. Now, using a little bit of melted chocolate inside of a bag, I'm ready to put everything together with the final touches. So I'm going to use the melted chocolate to make buttons on my snowman. I'm also going to use it as glue to hold on some eyes. I just had some candy eyes on hand. If you don't have the candy eyes, you can just use 2 dabs of the melted chocolate as your eyes. And once again, I'm going to cut a little hole with my cake tester in order to stick in my little orange nose. And last but not least, he needs that adorable smile that we all love so much. And that's it. One little Scandinavian snowman friend who loves the summer just as much as my girls. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the DIYs I had for you. Please don't forget to head down to the comments and let me know which DIY was your favorite. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And share it with your friends. And I'll see you next time when we repeat it all again.